Sports fans, welcome into another College Football 26 video. I've been trying to crank these out for y'all, and this is all recorded in the same day. A little editing magic for y'all. This is recorded within like 20 minutes of each other. Today, I wanted to break down the different types of passing. As you can see here, if you go into passing type in your settings, there's 4 different types. It's the same 4 types as last year. I made the same video last year, but like the option video, I wanted to update it to see if there's anything different with this year's game. A lot of people liked that video last year. It was really helpful throughout the entire year, and I figured provide the sports fans with another video, just an updated video on how to run basically all 4 of these passing types in the new game. So I want to start with classic passing, because classic passing is the exact same as basically any game that we've ever played. You literally just hold the button of the guy. Like I just threw it to Y there. It was whatever. Let's make sure we have passing plays here. You just snap the ball, you touch it, and the guy will either lob it or he will bullet it, depending on how do you throw. And basically, if you're like that far confused to how to do that, I'm going to throw this up to Jeremiah here. Just tapping X will lob that ball up in the air. That will be a lob pass. Now, it's kind of like a loft. Now, if you hold it down for a little bit, imagine there's like a metaphorical meter. It'll look more like that. That's not a bullet pass, but that's just more of like a, I don't know, a classic pass. And as for a bullet pass, let's show that off. I'm going to bullet this ball to Jeremiah Smith again. And basically, oh, this is Carnell Tate, but same thing. That's a bullet pass. It kind of looked the same. Let me throw it on a shorter route just to show y'all the difference between that. I'm going to try to hit Carnell Tate on this bullet pass coming into motion here. So let me keep this, bullet that ball out. You see that's a really quick release right there. And that is pretty much how to use classic. There's nothing too hard about that. That's the same passing meter that we had all up until like last year. The next one is Revamped. Now this is the one that I personally use. This one is a meter that you're going to fill up. And that blue meter is basically how to get the perfect pass, I believe. And honestly, I don't even be like getting perfect passes that much. But you can do the same thing where you want to loft a ball, where you want to, like if you just tap X here, as low as the meter goes, and that ball will loft up. That's way better for like 9 routes or for, I guess, post routes. Anything deep will probably want to be that, or maybe even screen passes, depending on the defensive formation. But same thing, X is a bullet pass. You'll see that meter went red. Now the thing is, if that meter is red, since you have more control over it, you want to time that meter correctly. If that meter is red, that ball will be bullet, but it might be inaccurate. And so you got to be careful about doing that. That pass right there was just a simple throw. I'm going to try to fill up that meter as much as I can. That's also a bullet pass, I believe. And as you can see, that didn't go red. I didn't go too far over. That's just a accurate bullet pass. That could be inaccurate depending on the rating of your quarterback. It's really hard to get these balls completed in this year's game. The game plays really slow, and so be careful if you're going to use Revamp, because if you just hold the ball down, you can get an inaccurate ball, which causes your receiver to have to make adjustments to the ball. That's basically Revamp passing as well. I like this one because it still feels kind of simple. It still feels easy. I don't play online very much, and so this is fine for just playing like Dynasty. That one I bulleted. That one I held down all the way, and I didn't get an inaccurate ball. So maybe on shorter balls here, you don't necessarily get the penalty that you would for throwing deep. So I'm going to try to hit A right here. Same thing. So you don't get red on where your quarterback's more comfortable to throw the ball to. But if you throw that ball deep to Jeremiah Smith, you can get that penalty. With that being said, that's Revamp passing. Let's head on to the next one. This one is placement that I'm going to try out. And honestly, if you're confused, just literally come over. Where's the passing type? Passing type is placement. Read what it says. And not to be like mean or anything, but placement enables visual targets to control the pass, placement, and power. So this is placement and power, not placement and accuracy. This leaves accuracy to be determined by the ratings. If we go to classic, classic is basically the old school one that just is fully ratings. Now revamp passing, as you can see, it's based on ratings and pass context. The player can take some power off of their throw to make more accurate passes. So if you hit that yellow meter, you're basically in the right range there. You hit the red, you lose a little accuracy. You get lower, you have more accuracy. Now placement's one we're going to be doing next. The ratings determine the accuracy of the ball. So you can basically control the power of it, not the accuracy. Now placement and accuracy is going to be you get to do the accuracy, or you get to do the power and the accuracy, which we'll get into that one next. So on this route here, I just want to see what it's like. You can kind of direct Carnell Tate where you want to. I don't know if the corner route's the best way to describe that ball, but I wonder, like, if I try to throw a back shoulder here to Jeremiah, you can see it kind of goes towards his back shoulder. So you still have a little bit of control on what the accuracy is, or on where the placement is. But I think if you time the meter right, that gets you the best power that you want. So like if I just tap it, you can again lob that ball up, and that one's inaccurate. So that was up to the accuracy settings, which is why I don't really like this setting, because you can tap that ball and you can overthrow your receiver. Now what I want to try is if I tap, I don't want to run a motion play. Motion plays take too long for me, even though putting a guy like this is probably the same exact thing. Now what I want to know is if I just tap the ball, but I put him more on his line, he can still catch it. But that was a curl route, so does that really count? Who knows? The thing I don't really like about this game, or about this mode specifically, this power, is that you can get those random inaccuracies. And I am not a fan of leaving it up to the ratings. You can make a good throw if you'd like. Let me see here. Can I direct my guy? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But as you can see, I did have some just accuracy mishaps just from tapping, and there was fine because you're leaving it up to the ratings. Now this one is what I think all the pro players use because it does not leave it up to player ratings. This is the most control that you have over it, and I believe this is one where you have basically control on anywhere in that green circle that you see. You have a chance to throw that ball. So there's a whole circle that lights up here. If you guys look, I'm going to throw it to Carnell Tate deep here on the right. And you can kind of direct him wherever you want within that green circle, within that reticle, I guess. And that'll determine where that ball will go. It's cool if you feel like you've got a lot of control over your guy, and it makes for those back shoulder throws like actually possible. I just feel like with where I'm at in my game, I don't really need that. But I'm gonna try a back shoulder throw here just to see like if I can try. I'm gonna try to run a comeback here out of Jeremiah Smith and just see if I could throw like this ball as soon as he touches his break. And that one was actually a perfect throw. So it's cool if you know what you're doing, and maybe I'll transition to it later this year. But for now, I'm going to stick on revamp passing. It bases it on a little bit of ratings and on pass context, and you can kind of control the accuracy with how much you hold down the button. That's basically the 4 methods on how you throw the ball in College Football 26. The game plays really slow, so like be ready for a lot of inaccurate balls like that. Player ratings do matter. That time I led my receiver too far to the left, and I'm totally fine with that because the game is going to play more real. It's going to be more simulation football, and I'm okay with that. There's another ball out of bounds, and that's kind of why I like it. I'm leading my players too far out of bounds, too far away. And what I should be doing is just not doing that. With that being said, if you enjoyed, let me know how I can make this better, or let me know if this actually helped you or not. This was the College Football 26 How to Pass tutorial. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, go Bucks, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.